Hey there, welcome to the Aligned Businesswoman podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa Miller, business strategist, mindset coach, and mom who refuses to believe you have to choose between scaling your business and having a life you love. If you've done the vision boards, downloaded the freebies, and still find yourself hustling harder than you want to admit, this show is for you. Each week, I share practical strategies mixed with subconscious rewiring and feminine energetics so you can attract clients, stabilize revenue, and grow your business in a way that actually feels good. Because you deserve consistent income and a life outside your laptop. Let's get into it. There are some things happening behind closed doors that I wish more women entrepreneurs were vulnerable with and would share. Because the more that we share this, the more resources we can gather together to overcome these things. And that is overthinking. Overthinking to the point of second guessing and not following through on your big idea. This leads to procrastination and perfectionism. Hey there, welcome back to another episode of the Aligned Businesswoman podcast. Vanessa Miller here. Today we're going to talk about a heavy topic. I think it's a heavy topic because I've been in circles where women feel shame around admitting these things, and they only share it in really close circles and behind closed doors. And that's the overthinking. I believe that the reason why there is so much shame or hush-hush around it is because it's the high-achieving woman entrepreneur who is brilliant, who knows what to do, who is deeply self-aware, but yet she's still stuck in her head. You know the steps to take. You've taken the courses, you've hired the coaches, and you mapped out the strategy. But when it comes time to execute, you freeze. You loop, you overthink, you question every move until momentum fades. Now, a high-achieving woman who is maybe a type A, that she's a go-getter, however you resonate with that, but you know that you take action. So when you experience this second guessing or this overthinking, it's unlike you and you're like, wait a minute, why am I doing this? If that's you, this episode is going to hit home because today I'm going to show you why overthinking isn't actually a mindset problem. It's a safety pattern. And once you understand the subconscious payoff your brain is chasing, aka the secondary gain, you can finally move through it and start creating predictable revenue with the framework I teach inside the Profitable CEO Accelerator. Hey, are you thinking about launching a podcast or taking yours to the next level? Juliana Barbati and her team are the experts you need. They take care of everything from episode funnel design to production and marketing, so you can focus on creating content that connects. Check out julianabarbati.com and mention I sent you. Now, it's hard to believe that even high-achieving women who see themselves as action takers experience this. They go through the motions as well. And so I think that's why not very many people talk about it, because to them it's out of character. But to me, it's actually pretty normal before you hit your next big level. Here's what this actually looks like in real life. Maybe you're the type of person who you rewrite your offer and tweak your prices for the third time instead of just launching. And what's interesting is that you're not new to taking action. It's just that your body remembers the time where the thing didn't go perfectly. And so then you start to hesitate and you start to worry. And maybe this leads to you binge researching and scrolling your competitors instead of showing up and selling. You keep asking, should I niche down? Should I rebrand? Change my messaging? Should I hire a new team member? All these questions that come into your mind when you already know what to do. You tell yourself that you're being strategic, that you're being methodical because you don't want to repeat past patterns. You don't want to repeat past mistakes, but really you're staying safe. And it's costing you more than just time. It's costing you consistency, clarity, and cash flow. Every moment spent in overthinking is a moment you could have been generating revenue, building relationships, and stabilizing your business. Underneath it all is a quiet voice of your conditioning. You've reached a certain level of success, but you remember the blood, sweat, and tears that you had to go through to reach that level, and you don't want to repeat it. You think, if I make the wrong move, I'll lose it all. If I get too visible or have too much success, and think, Other people are going to think, who does she think she is? Isn't it enough for her already? And then maybe you think, if I succeed too quickly, I won't be able to sustain it. This, my dear, is secondary gain. It's when part of you holds onto a pattern, even one that hurts, because it secretly gives you a sense of safety, control, and significance. Your subconscious would rather keep you stuck in a familiar discomfort than risk unfamiliar success. And the wild part is not doing it to sabotage you. It's doing it to protect you. And that is really hard to differentiate. Look, you can logic your way out of overthinking because it's not a thinking problem. It's an identity conflict. One part of you wants to grow. That's the part that has outgrown the past way of doing things. But then the other part is terrified of the growth, of what the growth may cost you. Is it going to cost you time, energy, relationships, stability? The goal isn't to silence either one of them. It's to understand the common ground that they both have. It's to help them find this so that they can integrate the part of you that wants expansion with the part that craves safety. That's what creates calm, confident execution, the kind that turns potential into profit. When women hit a certain level of success and want even more, it's not a time to go and rewrite limiting beliefs because they probably already have done that. The next thing is that now that you've been peeling back these layers, it's understanding how the parts of you can work together to achieve your next level. Let's talk about how to spot secondary gain and what to do about it. Because secondary gain is the root cause of this inner conflict. So the first thing that you want to do is that you want to notice the pattern. Ask yourself, what do I get out of staying stuck here? It sounds counterintuitive, but your subconscious always has a reason. I love to journal on this because when I get into a stream of consciousness while I'm writing, so much more comes out than if I were just to think about it on a walk. What I found is that sometimes my subconscious will come up with a different question that gets me to go deeper and deeper. Maybe staying in confusion gives you an excuse not to be rejected. Either way, awareness is power. Noticing the pattern is going to help you shift out of it. Next, you want to make it conscious. Write down the two competing beliefs. For example, I want 20K months, but I'm scared I'll burn out or fail publicly. Allow it to come out. Just brain dump what is really going on within. Remember, your actions are going to be tied to an emotion and a thought. Look at what is competing against each other. Seeing both truths helps you stop self-blaming and start understanding what's really running the show. Number 3, rewire the safety response. When fear kicks in, regulate instead of react. Even just deep breathing can help you slow down, react, and ground. Grounding yourself before you take action is going to help you access higher levels of consciousness that maybe you wouldn't be seeing when you're acting out of emotion. Ask, what would feel safe and expansive right now? This is how you build the capacity to take bigger, bolder actions without your nervous system revolting. Inside the Profitable CEO Accelerator, this is exactly what we do. We pair subconscious rewiring with business strategy so you can finally execute the plan you've had on paper for months. During our mindset makeover calls, we do subconscious reprogramming or parts integration or even EFT so that we're regulating our nervous system and we're able to reprogram the beliefs that are holding us back. I really love the story that I heard regarding secondary gain when I learned about it. There was a woman who went to go see Milton Erickson, who is one of the most well-known psychologists, where he would be able to help you shift within one session using his Milton model, his way of communicating. And during this session, she'd come in because she'd been experiencing back pain for so long that she was bedridden. It was so bad that her husband had to quit his job so he could take care of her. And then periodically, her sister would come into town to alleviate him so that, he could do whatever he needed, but then she would take care of her as well. Well, she went to go see Milton Erickson and she was able to heal her back. She came in after one session with him and said, oh my gosh, I am doing so much better. I'm able to move. I can stand. Look at all the ways that I'm moving. And she said, even my husband has been able to go back to work. and my sister moved back to her town. And so I feel healed. I feel so much better. Well, weeks or maybe even months passed. She was back in bed. Her back was hurting her again. And when he went to speak with her, he asked her what had happened. Well, what he uncovered was that because her husband went back to work and her sister moved back to her hometown, she felt alone. She felt like she was all by herself and she wasn't getting the attention that she had been when she was sick. And so her mind created the pain again. Now that is secondary gain. We don't even realize how powerful our brain is that it even created a physical pain in this woman. So imagine what is happening right now in your business that maybe it's not physical pain, maybe it's not emotional pain, but it's actually causing you to stay stuck in where you're at right now because your mind perceives that it is actually a more positive outcome for you to stay where you're at now than to achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve or complete that task that you want to complete. So imagine this. Imagine that you understand the parts of you that are in conflict and you get them to speak together. You get them to uncover the common ground and work together as a whole. You reveal that secondary gain and you work through it. When you do this, you get to make decisions quickly and confidently. You show up online without spiraling afterward. You launch offers or marketing campaigns and sell with ease, not from pressure. You're not constantly questioning if you're doing things right, and you don't have to get everyone else's opinion before you take action. You just know what moves the needle forward, and you trust yourself to follow through. That's what happens when your mind and body are in sync. That's what the Profitable CEO Accelerator helps you master. The strategy, the structure, and the subconscious alignment that makes predictable revenue your new normal. If this episode spoke to you, if you've been stuck in your head and you're ready to actually follow through, it's time to step into the Profitable CEO Accelerator. This is where we turn overthinking into execution, fear into focus, and potential into predictable profit. Inside, we'll build your Profitable CEO framework so you can stop second guessing and start scaling sustainably. Check out the show notes to apply to the Profitable CEO Accelerator. All right, that's all I have for you for today. I'll catch you next time on the next episode of the Aligned Businesswoman podcast. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Aligned Businesswoman podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa Ann Miller, and I'm so excited to share some goodies with you. Head over to the show notes so you can grab your free gift and make sure to leave a review and join me inside the Aligned Businesswoman Facebook group. Until next week, bye-bye, my love. Loving these podcasts? Want to take things deeper? Did you know I was able to grow my business by 3,000% in less than 1 year? By strategically setting up my business and my schedule for success. Check out my free download, How to Write an Energetically Aligned Business Plan, where I take you through the routines and rituals that set me up for success. You'll be able to discover what has helped my clients double their revenue in 90 days and what helped me grow my business by 3,000% in less than 1 year. Visit vanessaandmiller.com/CEO-day.